This is my current trading strategy. When I'm not overseeing my mansion build, I trade this strategy and I'm obsessed with it. I have 39 wins, only 8 losses live trading this on stream in front of you every week. And in my VIP room, I'm 15-3 this month. I'm not promising or guaranteeing any results. This is simply my favorite trading strategy, and I've been trading for 16 years. And if you look at my DMs, they are filled with community proof of winning trades every single day. So it's time you lock in and let's play some trades. Step 1, the macro range. Look, price trades in ranges 70 to 80% of the time it consolidates. So I set up my support and I set up my resistance on that 5-minute time frame, creating the macro range. Then I sell when price is at the top of the range, and I buy when price is at the bottom of the range. Look, let's even ask ChatGPT, does the market range or trend more? Look, roughly 70 to 80% of the time we're ranging, consolidating, and only 20 to 30% we're trending. This is why I'm a range trader. Price bounces between this range more than it breaks out from this range. So if we're taking shorts near the top and we're buying near the bottom, we're going to give ourselves higher probabilities of winning trades in the long term. Don't worry, I'll show you a bunch of live trades later in the video. Now let's get into step 2, the micro range. Now let's use a live trade that I actually did on stream in front of thousands of people. You can see I have my macro range set up, right? I have my resistance at the top, I have my support at the bottom, and now we have to set up our micro range. Let's zoom in a little bit right here. To set up the micro range, we want to be trading the beginning of the London or New York session. I'm going to show you the New York session now. I'll show you how to do this in the London session later. So on the 5-minute time frame here at 9:30, we're just looking at the first 3 candles. You can see 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. That now creates the range high and the range low, which I call the micro range, right? The macro range is the big range. The micro range is the small range. These are the first 3 candles at the New York Stock Exchange open, and they help us with the direction. So now we want to see the price either break out the top or break out the bottom and close. This is your open range breakout, okay? So you could see right here, we got that, right? Price broke out the top of the range and it closed. So that's telling us we are now bullish. We want to look for buy trades. So if I go back to my drawing, let's say price is bouncing between support and resistance just like this, and then it's 9:30 right now, okay? So at 9:30, we get a couple candles like this, and then it's done, okay? So we have our macro range here, and we get our micro range off of these 3 candles right here, okay? So now we would be looking for the price to continue up, break and close, and then come back into the micro range and enter at the macro range, right? Because there's more distance from here to here. So that's telling us this is a good level to buy from. Step 3, the trade entry. All right, let's use this exact same example right here. There's multiple reasons to take this trade. First, we have our macro range set, so we want price to come back to that level of support. Second, we broke out the top of the micro range, right? 2 reasons for us to buy. Now, where are we going to enter this trade? Well, we're gonna wait for a pullback. You could see the pullback is happening. Now, generally, you don't want to enter on these big red candles, okay? This is a risky play that I did right here. And you can see I did enter the trade at that level. It did turn out to be a sniper entry, and the price did start pushing up immediately. And then it continued to go up slowly but surely, 1 candle at a time, 1 5-minute candle at a time, until it inevitably shot up and smashed my take profit and went even further than I expected. But why am I taking this entry? Well, you could see in this example, we had a fair value gap on this candle right here. So I felt like that was a price that needed to be filled, right? We also had a demand zone off of this candle right here. So we had the FVG and demand zone overlap, and you could see all these wicks right here was also telling us that this could be a minor support level because it was a minor resistance level in the past. As for stop loss and take profit, I just put my stop loss below the bottom of the micro range, our orb, and I had my take profit at the level of the macro range, the resistance. Very simple. Now, before we get into live trades, and I show you how to do this in London session as well, if you're looking for a place to trade, I recommend the AAAFX broker. This is the best broker in the business right now. The spreads are low, commissions are low. There's MetaTrader on mobile. It's the best platform, and registration is free, so click the link in the description right now, and let's get back into trades. Live trade example 1. So let's walk through a live trade that I recently placed. First step, setting up my macro range, right? We have the resistance here at the top. We have the support level right here at the bottom. You can see price is trading within the macro range. We want to what? Sell from the top. We want to buy from the bottom, giving us the best opportunity to win trades. Now, we're going to zoom in and we're going to get our micro range from 930 to 945, and then the range is set. To get the micro range properly, just come to indicators, type opening range with breakouts and targets, click on this right here. Then come into the settings, set the time period 15 minutes, set the custom range 930 to 945 UTC -4. I'll show you the London session later. Then on the bottom right of your screen, just have UTC -4, and then we can just play out the chart, right? You could see right here. Let's play this out. The first 3 candles are done, and we now have our micro range, right? Top of the range right here, bottom of the range right here. And where are we in our macro range? We're at the bottom, we're at support. So we want to see the price break out the top and then come back to that macro range somewhere where we can enter a trade. Now let's continue to play this out, and you can see we got our break, right? We now closed above, the candle closed above. That tells us that we want to buy. We're at the bottom of the macro range. That also tells us we want to buy. We also use trend lines. If we draw this trend line right here, you can see we also got the break in the trend line, another reason to buy. So now we got to figure out, where are we going to enter our trade? Where are we going to get in? Well, we had this huge candle right there. So that's creating a bit of a demand zone off of this candle right here, which is not a perfect demand zone, but it is telling us that there are a ton of buyers at this level. That's why I'm drawing this demand zone. So I'm looking to enter my trading position within the demand zone, within the support of the macro range right here, just waiting for that price to pull back. You can see this is exactly what I'm waiting for to happen right here. That price to pull back, tap into my entry like that. That's what you call a sniper entry, and then I'm into the trading position. I set my take profit at this level of resistance right here. I set my stop loss where? Below the range. You can see I have the range right there. The stop loss is below that range. So there's some breathing room, and then I smashed my take profit for a huge win. Now, I got 2 more trades to show you. I want to show you how this works on sell trades, and then I want to show you how you could use this in the London session. Live trade example 2. First step, I'm setting up my macro range. We have a level of resistance at the top right here. We have a recent level of support at the bottom right here. What matters most? Recent price action, okay? You could see maybe you're looking at this level right here. That's fine as well. But the recent price action is telling us this is the level, okay? That's the level we got multiple reactions off recently. The recent price action. Why? Because we're trading recently. We're trading now. So step 1 is complete. We have the macro range. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's get our micro range. Let's play this out a little bit here. We have to get those first 3 candles right there. The first 3 candles gives us our micro range, the range high, the range low. And where is the range? The range is right here at resistance, right? There's a bigger distance from the resistance to the support. So we want to be selling, right? We want to sell from the top here. We want to buy from the bottom here. It's simple. Next, you see I have a trend line. I set up the trend line. 1, 2, 3 touches and a break right there. Okay, we broke the trend line. Next thing we want to see the price break through the bottom of the range. So let's play that out. Can we get a break through the bottom of the range? Yes, we get that break and close right there. That tells us we want to sell. We're at resistance. That tells us we want to sell. We have the trend line break. That tells us we want to sell. We have so many reasons to place trades. Now, where do we want to enter the trade? Well, you could enter right here at the top. You could enter at the midline right here. That's also at the trend line. That makes sense. And 3 red candles down in a row, that creates a supply. So there's also a supply in that area. So I put my sell trade right there. It's in the supply. It's at the trend line. It's at the range midline. So many reasons to enter a trade at that position. So we wait. What happens? We get the entry. It goes against us a little bit, and then it reacts to the supply. It starts going down, pushing, comes back a little, pushes, and then we smash the take profit right there perfectly. Now, why is that my take profit? Well, recent price. Very simple, right? Recent price. That's why I targeted that area. Price was there recently. It could come back to that level again. And then for my stop loss, look, my stop loss, it's just above the orb and above what? This recent candle right there. So it's protected by the micro range. Now, for all my London session traders, I'm going to show you this in the London session. And if you're not a London session, watch this anyways. You gotta master this. Live trade 3. It's time for the London session. Big Ben. Let's go into the indicator. First thing here, we're going to set UTC to +1, and we're going to set the custom range to 9 a.m. to 9:15. That's going to give us the London Stock Exchange open, okay? That's the London market open right there. That's what we want. And then over here, we're going to set UTC +1 as well, okay? Now, you can see I've already got my range set. Look, top of the range right here, bottom of the range right here. Say, why are you not using this right here? Because recent price action is reacting off of this level more, right? That makes more sense. So that's our level. We also have a 200 period EMA. Another reason to buy, trading with the trend. Let's go ahead and play this out and get our micro range, right? We're getting our London session micro range, and we just got it right there. Top of the range here, bottom of the range right here. So what do we want? We want to break out the top, right? Our micro range is right down here with our macro range. So we want to trade to the top right here. So let's see if we could get a break and close out the top. Let me zoom in a little bit here, get a little bit closer to the action for you. And let's see, can we get a close out the top? Not yet. Look, we get a close out the bottom, okay? Not a good sign, but we reacted right here off of the EMA. We reacted off of the EMA here. That's a good sign. I'm okay. I'm still looking for buys. I still want to have the close out the top. And then finally, right here, we get the candles. Look, they're closing out the top. We break and close. Fantastic move. What does that create? That creates a level of demand as well for us to enter the trade. So we're just waiting for it to come back. Let me draw that level of demand. Boom. Right there, we've got our demand zone. The red candle before the big push up. Look, price is coming to our EMA right there as well. The bottom of the range, we've got so many reasons to take a buy here, right? We're at our macro range. We had the break, the retest. This is where we want to place the trade for all my Big Ben Londoners. Go ahead and push this trade up. Come on. And where am I targeting? I'm targeting recent price action. Right there. It got there once. It can get there again and smash my damn take profit. And where's my stop loss? I gotta have it below the macro range. I had it below the micro range and below the demand zone right there for a solid risk reward ratio. This strategy simply works. I'm crushing with it in VIP. Join my VIP right now. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join my free trading room. Watch this video right here. Definitely watch this video right here, and I'll be back next week. Much love.